Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a look at a highly structured framework designed by Roya. If you're feeling that familiar drain of meeting fatigue, that creeping exhaustion from sitting in conference rooms or on endless video calls for hours with literally nothing to show for it, well, we've got something for you. We're breaking down the 5-5-5 method. It's this unique rhythm that actually claims to cure that fatigue and completely restructure how teams collaborate.
Here's our agenda for today. First, the problem with meetings. Then we'll get the 5-5-5 method explained, break down the actual 15-minute timeline, and finally go over some practical tips for implementation. Let's get right to it.
Section 1, the problem with meetings. Okay, let's dive into this wasted time and frustration that has basically become a universal pain point of modern office life.
So, are you tired of endless, unproductive meetings? Because honestly, we all know the feeling. You log on for what's supposed to be a quick sync, 45 minutes completely vanish, and you're left staring at the wall wondering why this couldn't have just been a 3-sentence email, right? The conversation drifts, no one is quite sure who's actually in charge, and everyone just desperately wants to get back to their actual tasks.
As outlined in Roya Bloom's work, poorly managed meetings cause a real domino effect. All that wasted time breeds skyrocketing frustration among team members, which ultimately just hammers the bottom line with a severe decrease in overall productivity. When meetings lack a tight structure, they stop being a tool for collaboration and actually start being a roadblock to real work. Section 2, the 5-5-5 method explained. Let's pivot and look at a structured approach to finally reclaim your time. The 5-5-5 method is this highly structured approach that breaks meetings down into 3 distinct 5-minute phases. By dividing a sync into these balanced, bite-sized blocks, you guarantee clarity, focus, and most importantly, actionable outcomes. It totally takes the guesswork out of the agenda.
The benefits are pretty much immediate here. You get incredible time efficiency because of that strict 15-minute cap. Clarity and focus just naturally emerge when everyone in the room knows they only have a few minutes to speak. It's entirely action-oriented, meaning you actually leave with results. And finally, you get much improved engagement. Because the time limit is so strict, attendees know their input is highly valuable, so they actively participate instead of just zoning out.
Section 3, breaking down the 15 minutes. Let's get ready to mentally map out exactly how these 3 distinct phases actually function in the real world.
Let's move to and see how this builds chronologically. The structure is super simple. Minute 0 to 5 sets the stage, minute 5 to 10 tackles the core issues, and minute 10 to 15 defines your actions. It's a rapid progression that leaves absolutely zero room for fluff.
Let's zoom in on that first block. In the first 5 minutes, your job is to set the stage. State the purpose clearly. What is the actual objective of being here? Identify the participants and their roles, so everyone knows exactly why they're in the room. And then outline the agenda by hitting the key topics. You want to lay the foundation fast and firm, cutting out that usual 10 minutes of small talk that always derails traditional meetings.
Once the stage is set, you immediately pivot right into the core of the meeting. During these middle 5 minutes, focus strictly on primary discussion points. Engage your attendees actively and make sure you're documenting key points and decisions in real time so nothing slips through the cracks.
Finally, we reach the last 5 minutes. This phase is what guarantees the meeting produces tangible outcomes rather than just, a bunch of talk. Summarize the main takeaways so everyone is perfectly aligned. Assign specific tasks and responsibilities to the people in the room, and schedule deadlines or follow-ups. Basically, you're totally closing the loop before that 15-minute mark hits. What makes this method so incredibly adaptable is that it acts as a plug-and-play structure for everyday collaboration. Whether you're running a daily morning stand-up or just a really quick project sync, this rhythm drops right into your team's workflow perfectly.
Section 4, practical tips for implementation. Now, how do we actually use the 5-5-5 method seamlessly in our own workdays? Let's get into the execution.
And this brilliantly illustrates the roles required before, during, and after the meeting to make this framework really hum. During preparation, share a concise agenda beforehand so everyone arrives ready to go. During facilitation, someone absolutely must fiercely track the time and guide the room. Note-takers need to document decisions on the fly, and for follow-up, those notes are distributed to monitor progress. Everyone has a job to do here.
Roya offers some rapid-fire best practices to ensure success. First, stay incredibly strict with the time. Like, literally put a timer on the table if you have to. Encourage brevity. If your notoriously talkative coworker goes off on a tangent, politely redirect them back to the agenda. Foster inclusivity by inviting input. And make sure to share the structure ahead of time so everyone buys into the pace and is prepared to adjust. So, the crucial point is that the absolute boundary is 15 minutes. No exceptions. If a topic suddenly requires a more in-depth, complex discussion, do not let the current meeting overrun. Document it, put a pin in it, and schedule a dedicated session for that larger issue later. Protect that 15-minute boundary at all costs. By adopting the 5-5-5 method, you can finally stop dreading your calendar and start actually reclaiming your schedule. Try implementing this highly focused structure in your very next sync and just watch your team's efficiency skyrocket. So, are you ready to rethink how you run meetings? Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and happy collaborating.